Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, in this episode 3822 BN. Today's date is January 20th, 2026, and the title of the episode is Trump has separated the U.S. from the deep state agenda. The message: expose, arrest, accountability. Hey, you know what's interesting? The number one worst fruit for your waistline. Are you turning healthy fruits into highly unhealthy fruits without even realizing it? Fruit can be one of the healthiest things that you can put into your body, but the majority of Americans are guilty of making this single mistake that can counteract all of the health benefits of fruit. Some fruits can help with occasional constipation, reduce bloating, and even help burn calories. Others can wreak havoc on your digestive system and energy levels. I came across this viral presentation from the world-renowned heart surgeon Dr. Stephen Gundry showcases the 3 fruits to stop eating today. It was shocking. I have no idea, and after finding it out, I've stopped eating these 2. I'm going to put a link for all of you to watch it because I want you to all gain this information because I truly think it's very, very important. Go watch it right now at thehealthyfat.com/X22. That's healthyfat.com/X22. I also linked it in the description box below in the video to make it a lot easier for people, so just click on thehealthyfat.com/X22. Oh, and by the way, eliminating these fruits could forever change the way we help increase energy levels, decrease brain fog, support digestion, and even lose weight. So make sure to click below or go to healthyfat.com/X22 to find out now. Dr. Gundry has lost 70 pounds himself using this research and has kept the weight off for over 20 years and counting. His digestive issues are gone, his health is fantastic, and he feels younger and healthier today than he did in his 40s. His video has been watched by over 20 million people to date, and you can watch and learn more about it at thehealthyfat.com/X22. It's linked at the bottom of the video, but he'll teach you exactly how he has kept the weight off for free at healthyfat.com/X22. Let's get into the economic collapse, political and geopolitical news. Now, the deep state, the corrupt politicians, big tech fake news, the puppet masters, you can see what Trump has done right now. And it's not just here in the United States, but across the globe. And think about it. The EU nations, Australia, New Zealand, were they ever in line with the United States? Yes, under Biden, under Obama. Yes, the world was together in the agenda of moving towards the Great Reset, the Green New Scam. But since Trump came in, the world has now gone in different directions. The U.S. is going in a completely different direction than the EU. And the EU is still following the path of the Great Reset, the Green New Scam. And when you look at the World Economic Forum and you look at the deep state players, their entire mission was what? It was in line with China. China was going to be the manufacturing powerhouse. China was going to pretty much control everything. And what do you think was going to happen to the U.S. and to the EU? You would see solar panels, windmills, and basically 15-minute cities. So now Trump, what he's doing, he's moving away from the globalist system, moving away from the central bank system, and now we have separated ourselves from the EU. Now the EU is now falling in line with China. So basically everyone now is seeing this as clear as day. Actually, we even have Macron, Ursula von der Leyen, and the rest letting us know, yeah, that's who we're going to be doing business with. That's who we're aligning ourselves with. And you can see every day that Trump does something where he says we want Greenland, where we want the nations to pay for NATO. You could see every step of the way, these countries who said they were our allies, they're truly not. Now, remember, I'm not talking about the people of these countries. I'm talking about the installed leaders. The installed leaders, they have a completely and utterly different agenda, and that is part of the deep state agenda. And the people of those countries, they're not really going along with this. Actually, if you look at the approval rating of all the different leaders like Merz and Starmer and Macron, they're in the dumper right now because the people aren't with them. Here in this country, Trump is showing the people, look, we're not going down this path. We have a different path, and we're going completely the opposite way. And I'm showing you who's truly our allies and who is not, who wants peace and who wants war. And he is, at the same time, freeing up those nations that were controlled by the deep state players, by China. Remember, it's all part of the same system. And Trump is exposing their entire system. And this is why the deep state players, this is why they're so panicked. And think about the message that Trump has been putting out, and he's sent out a lot of troops today. And basically the message is we need to expose the entire criminal syndicate. We need to expose the crimes that they have committed. We have to expose their agenda. We have to expose what they're trying to do. Once people in this country and the people around the world understand what they have been doing, then we can actually have arrests. Now, we just can't go out and arrest people because once again, we're going to have to try the people. And to try people, we need those judges, we need attorney generals, prosecutors to follow the rule of law. So I do believe the message is expose. Let's expose and investigate all of these people so the people understand in this country and the people around the world, look what's been going on. Because if it's happening here in the United States, you don't think it's happening around the world? And you have to remember, a lot of these countries with the installed leaders, they've been using the money here in this country to fund their operation in the other countries. And this is why they continually fight back. I think it's starting to make sense to people now. The reason why you see like the D's and the blue states fighting back so hard is because they're part of the system. They're part of the criminal system. They're protecting the criminal system. When you look at the installed leaders across the globe, they're protecting their basically criminal syndicate, and they're protecting everything that they have. And when Trump says, well, you know something, I'm going to place tariffs on you. We're no longer sending money over. We're no longer paying for this. They freak out because, again, their survival, their entire system depends on the money that's being received from the U.S. So if that is cut off via USAID, via NGOs, through NATO, through everything else, through the Venezuela, the drug running, the human trafficking, and the rest, this puts them in a very difficult position. Do they have leverage now? No, they don't. They have no leverage whatsoever. And this is why they panic. This is why they're looking at alternatives. This is why they're not going along with what Trump wants, because, again, he's shutting them off. And it's becoming very, very obvious. So when you look at this, we're in the exposure phase because you have to remember, we're taking back control. We're taking back the country. We're not doing little arrests here and there. This is not just another 4-year election. It never was. This is about taking back full control. This is not about, oh, hey, Pam Bondi, can you arrest this person so I can be happy and I can tell people, look, we got people arrested. No, this is about exposing the entire system, showing the people the truth, what you've been working for, your hard labor, why you can't pay your bills, why everything is the way it is because of these crooks. That's what's happening right now. So right now we're exposing it, not just in this country, but worldwide. And once the criminal syndicate is exposed, once the people are exposed who is running it, once we follow the money and follow who's actually doing all of this, because you really think the Somalis with an IQ of 68 or 70, you think they're smart enough to orchestrate and learn how to launder the money in this country? Do you really think it's just them? Do you really think it's just Frey and Waltz who are orchestrating all of this? Or do you think it's at a higher level? Because, again, a lot of the money flows to certain people. They're getting kickbacks. A lot of the money goes to Act Blue. A lot of money goes to the different organizations. So who's really running all of this? Who's really orchestrating? Who put it all together? Remember, you have the low-level people, the front men. You have the middle-level people. And then you have the people that are pulling the strings to all of this. And yeah, we can go arrest the Somalis, which is already being done. We can go ahead and actually subpoena Waltz, Frey, and Ellison, and the rest, Elon Omar. Yeah, they're the middlemen. But again, this goes much, much further than this. And are they subpoenaed? Yes, they were just subpoenaed. Because again, these people have committed crimes. It doesn't mean we're going to let them go, but we need to find out who the puppet masters really are. And I think we have some idea about this, but the rest of the country might not. Those people that have been doing research for quite a while, they most likely know. But again, when you talk to your brother, your sister, your cousin, your mother, your father, most of the people don't realize how bad it really is, how much fraud. They might think, oh yeah, there's some fraud in the country. I don't think they realize it's one gigantic criminal syndicate. And it goes much, much further than this. And once again, Trump is letting us know that, yes, these people must be held accountable. Yes, we must show the people the truth. We must show the people why ICE is going in and arresting the illegals. We must show that these people are criminals because, again, criminals brought in criminals. And Trump today during his press conference, he was holding up pictures so people understand this. I think this has to be done every single day. I think every step of the way, people must understand this is why we're doing this. Here's another criminal. Here's another criminal. Here's the rap sheet. And actually, this should be plastered all over the place. Now, can we depend on the fake news to do this? No, of course not. They're part of the criminal syndicate. So if you're looking, towards any of the networks to say, hey, this is what's happening, it's not going to happen. So once again, he's telling the people in the agencies, this is what you must do. Every day, post it on social media, show the people, let it spread around. Millions and millions of people will see it. And this is how they can combat the deep state players in pushing their agenda, because that's what they're doing. Innocent Americans are being arrested. No, that's not the fact. This is an illegal. This is the rap sheet. You're wrong once again. It's almost like that ICE agent that says, listen, you were honking, and we're trying to arrest a sex offender. You just protected a sex offender. And that's what we need to do. The narrative must be shifted. We must now say, hey, Antifa, these people that are protesting, they're protecting a drug trafficker, a rapist, a murderer, and show the pictures. This is what they're protesting against. These are the people they're protecting. These are the people that they're all for. This is what Waltz, Frey, Newscomb, the rest, they're protecting all of these people. The narrative must be shifted. And I do believe that's exactly what's happening right now. And every day that passes, I think people are waking up and people are seeing more and more and more. And yes, we are going to have accountability. Yes, when we have the exposure, when we start to see who's doing this, the people will demand this. Now, on the other side of this, you can see what the deep state players are doing. They know they're not going to be able to win the midterms. And the midterms, are very, very important. And it's not just important because we're getting control, but it's important that we get control and we actually remove a lot of the judges. It's important that we get control so we can pass certain laws. It's important that we have control over the system so Trump can complete the next phase of this long plan that's been in process. And the deep state players know that their cheating system is pretty much done. And they won't be able to cheat like they did before. So what they're going to do, and you can see the narrative is already being built, what they're going to do is they're going to try to convince the public that Trump doesn't want the elections. So what they're going to do is they're going to have the insurrection, and they're going to try to force Trump to declare martial law and to cancel the elections. I do believe this is their plan, and you can see they're putting this narrative out there, and they're hoping the people do not go along with actually having the troops on U.S. soil. And this is why Trump is playing the long game. This is why he's exposing everything. This is why he's letting it get really bad, because the people must see it and the people must demand it. And if the people are demanding it, well, he's just going to follow suit and he's going to actually have the troops on the ground, and he's not going to stop the elections. He's going to want the elections. So we have two things happening at the same time. The deep state players want Trump to push the Insurrection Act, and they're going to try to force him to shut down the elections because of all the chaos, the burning, the killing. Trump is going to use the Insurrection Act, and over this period of time, he's going to show the people what they're up to, what they're doing, expose them, and the people then are going to say, they're going to reach the precipice. They're going to say, enough is enough. We must do something about this. It's almost like when Biden was in office / Obama. They brought in all these illegals. The illegals were in the cities, using up the resources. Crime was everywhere. Garbage was everywhere. And the people finally said, we have enough. The same thing is going to happen now. And the people are going to force Trump into calling the ball, having the Insurrection Act activated, which means he's going to clean everything up so we can have the elections. You see, the deep state players are hoping that the people reject what Trump is going to do. Trump is going to get the people on his side, and the people are going to be all for it, and the people are going to want the elections. Because at that point, they're going to realize they need to vote a lot of people out of office. We'll be talking a lot more about this a little bit later. But first,